Let's talk about context module functions. Now, this isn't really the name of a pattern. I don't really think that this pattern actually has a name, but it's something that I've observed that kind of happens in my own code bases, as well as something that I've seen in other code bases like the React Dev Tools. And Dan Abramoff told me that this is something that they do at Facebook a lot. And I've enjoyed using this pattern myself. So we've got an example here of a context provider and counter example here where we're going to use this in other areas of our code base, and we are calling dispatch directly and all of this. And there are some drawbacks to this approach that I describe here in the background. You can take a read at, and we have some different approaches that we can do to improve this, but it doesn't work super well. So this context module functions concept will help address some of those problems. And that is what you're going to be doing and implementing in this exercise. So it is overkill for sure, but it can help us with some performance problems and general maintainability as well. So read over this background, get an idea of what this thing is, and then you can continue to the exercise. We've got a user settings page that we're rendering some user information, and that user information is managed by this user reducer, which is used by this user provider that's inserting this state and dispatch into context as a context value. And then we consume it with the use user custom hook that's consuming our context. And then the user settings page consumes that here and then makes calls into user dispatch as it's making this update to the user's information. So if we take a look at this, we can say biography is I am awesome, and we'll submit that. And you'll notice that the state gets updated immediately, and we get 3 dots right here indicating that while we may be looking at something that is what the state is going to be, we're still in the process of updating that. And so if there's a failure, then we fall back. So if we type in fail, for example, and then submit that, then we'll see fail shows up there, but then something went wrong and fail is no longer in here. So we do this rollback functionality here as well. So your job is to take this logic and move it into one of these context module functions so you can simplify the code for the user of our context. So enjoy that, and I'll see you on the other side of the exercise.